What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we're actually doing an unexpected upgrade to the S5. Didn't really plan on doing anything today, but Jake's shop had kind of a little bit of an opening today. So we're throwing a heat exchanger on. So we got a CTS upgraded heat exchanger so that we can actually start going to stage 2 on this thing, which right after we take all of this front end apart and get this in here, the next thing that we'll do in probably one of the next videos is throw on the single pulley upgrade so that this thing has way more boost. I believe with the single pulley, we're gonna go from like 400 horsepower to around 470-ish is gonna be my guess. But first step to that is getting this heat exchanger. So let's go ahead and take apart the whole front end. I'll show you guys a little bit of the process and then we'll kind of compare temperatures in this video. The temperatures before were pretty bad, but I'm thinking that this is gonna cool it down a lot. As you guys know, this platform has a ton of issues with heat soak, so this will fix that. Yo, so apparently, this down all the way down here, if it would focus on it, is the heat exchanger. I always thought that this was the heat exchanger, like this part right here, but this is the condenser. Obviously, this is the radiator. But, dude, we're going from this tiny thing to this. It's probably 4 times the size of it once we get it out. Obviously, we'll compare it once we get it out, but let's just see how this ends up.
Your sprayer.
Yeah.
Looks like your sprayer's here, and then hose is here.
Okay.
So we'll put a
bucket down there. Gotcha.
So it's on both sides.
Okay.
Yeah, in and out.
So yeah, this, dude, that is crazy. This is the heat exchanger. The size difference in these heat exchangers is actually insane. I didn't know that it was that different. I thought that it was this. So I was like, this looks just about the same as that over there, but no, this is the heat exchanger. So yeah, that one's probably 4 times the size. Let's go ahead and get this strained up and get the new one on because that is definitely why this thing heat soaks. All right, so we had this off, but now we're kind of putting it back on. Heat exchanger is off. Let's get a quick like side-by-side comparison because this is insane. Yeah, so this one is a little bit longer, but as you can tell, this one is just overall way bigger. It's probably like a 2.5 or 3 to 1, I'd say, probably somewhere around there. So we're gonna get a lot more cooling out of this. So now we're just kind of working on fitment. So we're putting the crash bar on to make sure that we don't get it too low or too high. And then we're gonna kind of bolt everything up. This was honestly not too bad. So now what we're kind of doing is just going through, we marked everything off like I said that we would, and we went ahead and used self-tapping screws to secure this bracket that holds the heat exchanger. So this is like 1 step away from getting taken and painted and then thrown on the car. All right, so we're about to get this painted. So what we're gonna do is just take some alcohol, wipe this down, and get it black. So before you paint anything, you just wanna scuff it up just a little bit so that the paint does have something to stick to. But so far, this has been pretty simple. It's not really that extensive of an install. So this is honestly probably gonna be the most time-consuming part. Oh yeah, that's gonna look way better.
This is satin, so it's not like matte, so it won't look like plastic.
No, this will look good. I mean, it's better than it being shiny too.
Yeah, it'll have a slight sheen to it, but
yeah,
it won't be bad.
Yeah, no, this will look good.
They give us an elbow.
Okay.
And then we cut it short and run it back. Because I've seen...
Just so that it's a little cleaner.
Yeah, because everybody runs them.
Yeah. I know what you're saying. Instead of having a bend in the actual...
Or you run it like straight across, and it's just like, that's kind of cheesy when it comes with 90s. So it's just like, and then this will run straight to this side. So I'll cut it short and just run it straight across versus, I mean,
routing it, yeah.
You might as well use it.
Yep.
Make it clean, do it right.
Yeah.
Do it right the first time.
Coul. This is gonna look good, dude.
Have the mini guy right here.
Yeah, I am so excited to see this behind this grill because before you saw like straight through this grill to like the bummy looking like OEM condenser, and yeah, so this is in the really mess up crash bar too, but this will look way better now. So we're having troubles with the hose clamps right now. Do the noise again that it's doing?
No, dude, it's just not even, they're like bent.
Yeah, they like
I can't even, like, that's how farther that's gonna go. It's the size of the hose.
Yeah, exactly. So we cannot get these to tighten up enough to fit on there.
Make sure you have extra hose clamps.
Yeah, definitely. If you get the CTS one, I mean, I don't know if you guys might get different clamps than us, but these are not going to work, so.
Yeah, these are like chump.
Yeah, so yeah, these are obviously trash, so we've got the whole goods right here. We'll find the right ones and get them on here.
This is as tight as it got, and this is barely smaller than the hose.
Yeah.
Without breaking it.
It's not tight enough, that's what she said. All right, heat exchanger is all put on, the crash bar is put on, everything is secured. Now it's time to fill this thing back up with coolant. All right, so we got G40 here. You can mix G40 with G13, G12, and this calls for G12, so we're all good to go. We're gonna go ahead and fill it up. We did hit the bleeder valve on here just so that it can breathe better when we're pouring it in. And then there will be a separate bleeding procedure on top of this as well, which we may or may not show you in the video depending on how annoying it is.
Everybody's going to roast you on how you're holding it the wrong way.
What do you mean? You're supposed to pour it this way?
Sure.
I'm kidding, sideways. Right? Right?
Yeah.
Are you me? Which way?
Pour it the other way. Everybody's going to...
Which way?
Pour it like you were just pouring. Everybody's going to roast you on how it's gulping.
All right, so we'll probably put it to the max, right?
Yeah, just go to the max because then you know you're just going to drink coolant, so you might as well just add a little bit.
Oh, it's like, oh, you can hear it kind of filling up from right here. It's sucking it down in. Yep. Yeah, so that's starting to build a little bit of pressure and suck in. So I should probably keep it going.
It's already going.
Yeah, I'm going to keep it going. Oh, son of a heard that. Dude, look at how close. Perfect. All right, what do you want me to do? Where's the bolt?
Oh. All right, here we go.
Oh yeah.
Done that a couple
Perfect.
times. I just don't want a bunch of coolant going. Well, okay, we're gonna let it. We're gonna start it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So now we're just hopping in the car to start it, so that we can kind of suck down some of that coolant. All right. So this thing's been running for a little bit. This is kind of bleeding out a little bit. You can see that there's like some bubbles coming out. I am stepping back because I don't trust that. But, oh yeah, no, that's definitely bleeding. Okay, good. Yeah, so we should see this line go down a little bit. It actually went up because the car is obviously heating up and expanding. But now that this is kind of bleeding a little bit, we should be all set to go. All right, so we finally got smart enough to close the hood so that this thing would actually heat up a lot faster, and it's finally working. So if you guys can see on camera here, you can see that this is bubbling out ever so slightly. We're finally getting some heat onto the supercharger, so it does need to cool down, and now it is finally sucking down some of the coolant. I'll show you real quick. So yeah, it is definitely sucking down, which is a good thing. So we're definitely gonna keep letting this get heat soaked purposefully and make sure that we have coolant through the entire system and no air bubbles, because if we get an air bubble mid-pull, that could be bad. All right, so it is all put back together, all bled, everything is good. It sucked down a good amount of coolant, so we think that it's completely fine. I am going to drive it and make sure that it is fine and check it when I get home just in case, but I'm gonna fill this thing all the way to the top. I'll show you. So right now it is almost at the max, but for just ease of keeping track of it, I'm gonna get it exactly at the max. And obviously it'll be a little bit above the max once it heats up, but that's pretty much exactly what we want. Also, here's a closer look at what the front grille is now. As you can tell, there is nothing basically behind here now. It's just the black heat exchanger and the freshly painted black crash bar. Looks amazing. All right, so now that this is all back together, we're just gonna hop on the highway, drive for quite a bit, and I am going to get the intake temperatures. I know what they slightly were before, and it's about the same weather. It's about 26 to 30 degrees outside, and I was running like 55 to 65 intake temps. So we'll see what we get on the highway now with this upgraded heat exchanger. I'm hoping that it cools it down at least by like 5 to 10 degrees. I would hope a little bit more, but we'll find out. All right, so I think that we're to the point on our trip that we're pretty much getting the best temperatures we're gonna see. It is currently 32 degrees outside, and we are seeing sub 50 degree intake temps, 47, I've seen 45, which is insane. So overall, if you are having any problems with intake temperatures and you do plan on going single pulley or dual pulley or upgrading your car on this B8.5 platform, doing this heat exchanger is 100% worth it. It wasn't that bad of an install. It took a few hours, and like an hour and a half of that was us searching for coolant at a local place because I forgot to get some, to be honest. So if you guys want to stick around to see what else comes from this car, we're going to be putting the single pulley on it, throttle body pretty soon, high pressure fuel pump, a bunch of stuff is going on this car, and some cosmetic stuff. So definitely hit the sub button if you liked it. If this video helped you, definitely drop a like and drop a comment what we maybe did wrong or might have missed. But other than that, guys, I think that is it for this video, so I will see you guys in the next one.